Hello, welcome to Divinity 648. My name is Christina and I am your channeler. Today's video is going to be dedicated to the collective, which means if you are vibrating on a high enough vibration, you are a part of the twin flame, twin soul journey, or you are surpassed that and you have found balance within yourself on both the feminine and masculine side. So you are working with divinity. If the information does not resonate with you, maybe this isn't your path or this isn't your vibration, and you should check your sun, moon, rising, or other placements. I am using the Rose Tech just because this is for the collective, and I am on that path, and I do not want my personal energy to influence or interfere with the information that is coming forward. So I am getting a treat just as much as you are because I am on the same path. Okay. I am going to let all the cards come out before I start speaking because I'd like to see the whole picture and not just as it's coming out. By one thing, we've got a pair right now. We have both the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. We got some good energy going. But I'll tell you one thing, neither of them are looking at each other. It's like both parties are kind of in their thoughts or in their emotions right now. It's almost like I'm just gonna let them keep coming first. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. I have to. Okay. So divine feminine energy. Okay. And that means you could be a man or a woman, whoever is sitting in the feminine energy. Okay. Um, it's like you're giving up hope. You're giving up it's like you're giving up on the connection almost, or you're kind of at a point right now where you're letting go of expectations and you're letting go of um yeah, you're letting go of the union. You're kind of at a position right now where you're just like, you know what, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And if it was going to happen, it probably should have already happened. And if it is about to happen, we'll let it happen when it happens. I'm not waiting for it anymore. I'm not putting it out into the universe anymore. I'm letting it go and I'm moving on in a different direction. And when that person gets their act together, then they can come find me. Otherwise, I'll move on and maybe they'll be too late. And I do see that you're starting a different cycle. I do see that you're moving on into a different direction. And unfortunately, the king, your divine masculine, he's kind of got his back to moving on in a different direction. And if anything, he's kind of trying to find balance above his emotions. He's trying to stay steady over mind, heart over mind, or yeah, like he's trying to find balance between his mind and his heart, between his desires and his actual real life circumstances. And I feel like he is it's almost like it's slipping away or it's falling away on the feminine part. You know, it's like I just got to give up on this because I'm not seeing the connection, whereas he's sitting there reflecting and pouring his energy on how it is that he's going to be able to come forward to you with an offer or commitment, and you're just in this position where you're tired of waiting. You're tired of wondering the when. You're tired of hanging out. It's just like, you know what, you should have got your act together. And I feel like once you kind of already have come to the conclusion that you were walking away. You've kind of already come to the conclusion that it's time for a new chapter, it's time for a new phase. And you're at that point right now where you're ready to release everything, not just the expectations. but everything. Like you're ready to leave this person in the past because you understand that just because you're in this divine feminine, divine masculine twin flame union, or you're entering union, or you're expecting that process, you also understand that there's plenty of divine masculines out there whose divine feminines are not manifested in the physical realm, which means their partner is not here physically. They're on the other side of the veil. So you understand that if your divine masculine does not step up his game and put things into motion, you are going to slip from his grip, right? You are going to jump out of his cup and keep it moving because you know that there's other masculines out there that are more than willing to fill in his shoes. And you will have an amazing, successful relationship with that person because they are vibrating at the same pace that you're vibrating. They're on your same frequency, regardless if they're your twin flame or not. You are not forced to be in a twin flame union. You can move forward with a different divine masculine. Okay. And I think that for a majority of you, you're at that point where you're like, okay, you can stay sitting there trying to find balance between your wants, desires, needs, and should be doings. And I'm going to release this situation. I'm literally done. I'm done and I'm ready to move forward. And whatever comes through my way, whatever, is on my new path, I'm going to embrace it. And unfortunately for you, I'm going to be the person that got away. That's pretty much where you're at. And I do see justice coming forward. I do see that you're seeing, no, I don't want that. I want that. Yeah, you're in this energy of like, I'm not taking no more shit. I'm not waiting for you anymore. There's no new beginnings here. Not at all. And I feel like as soon as you get to that point where you've given up on the fact that there's not going to be any new beginnings, and this person picks up on that vibration, or he the masculine picks up on the energy, or the simple fact that you really are fed up with waiting. You really are fed up with them needing to catch up or find clarity or get on the same page as you. I feel like at that point it's going to kick in, or they're going to kick into gear, and they're going to try to come forward with you and present to you an offer that is still not going to be the level that they need to be giving to you. However, it is going to be an offer. Um, and for a good portion of you, I feel like the offer is just going to not be enough, because you're not accepting, hold on, you're not accepting this is what I want to have with you. This is what I want to give to you. This is where I want us to be. You're looking for here we are, here's how it's going to be, and everything's in motion. Everything is existing. You're not looking for here are my plans and my intentions, right? We're past the intentions part. We're more in a position where if you're going to come to me with an offer, you need to come to me with your shit together, which means don't just come to me and tell me you want a relationship with me. We're going to be in that relationship. Don't just tell me that you want to live with me. No, we're moving in together. Don't just come to me and tell me that someday you plan on putting a ring on my hand. You better have that fucking ring in your hand. You better be ready to present that ring to me. And I feel like the masculines are almost like, oh my God, a little intimidated. A little intimidated because while yeah, they're intimidated. Some of them are not, but actually I see a lot of intimidation. I see a lot of shit. Like, okay, I got to get it together. I got to get into motion. Okay, so that's all I'm getting. And the few of you, I feel like either the masculine was more focused on another party, or the masculine was more focused on career moves, or there was just every other thing was a priority over you. And you got to that point where you were no longer willing to accept it. Let's switch that and get some more clarity. Yeah, he's like stuck. Like, do I have this new beginning? Do I walk away from the person that I've already given my future to? I feel like he's already in a committed relationship that he knows he has no business being in, because the person that he's with is just not fulfilling all areas of his life. And if he's already cut ties with that person, because I do see somewhat of a severance here, or a separation here, where it's almost like cutting cords, which it is cutting cord seasons, right? We're in Mercury retrograde, and this is the perfect energy to release yourself from things that no longer serve its purpose. So there is some cord cutting, like serious cord cutting. Relationships are ending. Friendships are no longer in effect either. I'll take it. Yeah. Yeah. So just, I'm like, just when you're ready to give up, just when you're ready to let go, just when you're ready to give up on this union that you have been waiting for, or working towards, or trying to fight for, you've decided that you're no longer fighting for it and you're ready to go off on a new beginning. I don't see you actually leaving though, or for a good portion of you, you've already left, or you've detached yourself emotionally from this other person, and they're kind of feeling it. They can sense it. They know that you want something new. They know that you want a new beginning, and they know that you're on the verge of walking away from them if you're not going to receive the whole package. Yeah. Yeah, you want to go because you're not seeing this new relationship. You're not necessarily a new relationship, but you're just not seeing the next step being pursued. You're not seeing the progress. One second, I just want more cards to come out before I start speaking on it. Okay. So, Divine Feminine, your masculine is going to catch wind, or is already thinking and feeling like you're no longer entertaining their shit, right? They're understanding that their old approaches are no longer working with you. Their older ways of getting their point across or keeping you in your position are no longer effective. And because of that, they're going to work. They're putting things into action. They're realizing, okay, whether they're getting this by spying on you, they're getting this by going to readers, or they're checking up on you, or they're watching your social media, or somehow, some way, they're looking into you because they want to know where your headspace is, because your demeanor or your behavior is just not consistent with the way that things always been, right? Clearly not, because you're at this position where you're no longer putting up with the bullshit. You want physical results. Okay, not five-dimensional communication anymore. You want third-dimensional communication. Like, don't come to me in the middle of the night and tell me to hang on. Don't come to me in the middle of the night and tell me that you love me. Don't come to me in the middle of the night and tell me what your insecurities are, so that way I can help you work through them. And then in the physical realm, after I've done that work, you're not showing me actions. So they're understanding your headspace at this point. Communication is coming forward, that you're no longer thinking of moving forward with them. You're no longer holding on to the idea of having um, a life with them. You're willing to accept the fact that you can move forward with someone else, right? And you're standing in your power, and you're embracing the situation for what it is, and no longer accepting what you want it to be. And at that point, he is going to come forward. He is going to come forward. I see him leaving things off to the side. I see him conquering what no longer serves its purpose. I see him gaining control, or he's no longer unstable. He's no longer trying to find balance between emotion and physical. I see him conquering his obstacles and finding balance so that way he can come forward and have a union with you. I do see that there was a little bit of confusion. There was a little of external influences affecting the way or the when he came forward with you. And now that he's removed those external influences, yeah, he he needed you to walk away. He needed you to detach yourself from him. He needed to find out that you weren't going to continue to wait in order for him to put his shoes on and start making the appropriate steps. Um, if that makes sense. Now, one second. Yeah. It's almost like he chose something else over you, and um he got stuck. He got caught in something, and I feel like it has something to do with a passing that has already happened, right? It was almost like oh my God. For some of you, there was a passing that actually affected this person in a serious manner that made them just grab the thing that they felt was most valuable to them at the time, not realizing that it was like the devil in disguise, not realizing that it was something that was not really meant for them. They just kind of grabbed it and held on to it because they were going through another situation and they felt like they had to have that stability. They had to have that union. They needed that family life. They needed that commitment, whether it was a job or something, whatever it was that they were putting ahead of you. More than likely, it was another person. I feel like they went for that because they saw it glittery, right? The appearance was more, that person's physical appearance matched the look that they were trying to project to the world. It didn't matter that it was empty, right? It's like it's like uh it's like being that person who buys that expensive bag. You don't care that you paid all your money to have the bag and the bag is empty, right? That's what he went for. He went for the bag that cost him everything instead of getting the other bag and having all that money to stick in it, right? So it's like he went for the thing that was beautiful but empty. It's not fulfilling. It's not. It doesn't meet all the needs of his desires. You get the point they're saying, okay? So in other words, he grabbed the wrong cup. He definitely grabbed the wrong cup. He definitely went for the wrong situation. And I feel like it has something to do with a passing or something to do with a transformation or a phase or a transition that he was going through prior to or around that time. Or maybe he was trying to accommodate other people's expectations, right? People expect me to look a certain way. They expect my partner to look a certain way or to be a certain, embody a certain energy. So it was more like instead of fulfilling his own needs and his own, instead of being true to himself and what he really needed, he went and tried to keep up with appearances. For a good portion of you guys, your divine masculine was either betrayed or is about to be betrayed. Something to do with the home front. Um, no way. I almost feel like the person he chose maybe left the situation or the situation has ended and probably not in a way that you would have hoped, right? Probably not in a way that, I mean, it might have been deserving because of the reasons behind the union that that person stepped in, but I feel like the masculine released the appearance that he was trying to maintain, or he let go of a situation that he realized was not fulfilling him in all the areas. And I do see something going on the home front, where the home front is no longer as it was. Okay, I do see that something has ended, somebody's moved out, or something has just changed to the point where um, it's like his whole world kind of flipped over on him a little bit. Uh, you're over there kind of in your head like, I'm so tired of this. I'm not putting up with this anymore. And meanwhile, in the background, your divine masculine is kind of drowning in his guilt and in his remorse or in his embarrassment, to be quite honest. So for some of you, it might be his pride or his ego that's stopping him from coming forward. It might be um, his pride or his ego, yeah, because he wants he wants to come forward, but he's not sure if he'll be received the way that he knows he doesn't deserve to be received. You know, it's almost like he wants to charge forward, but he doesn't feel like the end result will be there as it should have been, or things won't be the way that it could have been because of his past actions or because of his past decisions. But they are going to come forward. I do see your masculine, um, picking up some pieces and presenting them to you. I do see them getting out of their head. Yeah. Getting out of his head and coming. And when I say his, I just mean the masculine energy, right? It could be a female standing in the masculine energy, vice versa. But I do see that your masculine is going to come forward. Yeah. They're getting out of their emotions and they're physically going to come forward with an offer of commitment, because you are their divine feminine, and they realize that, and they see how easy. Yeah, they don't want you to be single. For a good portion of you, I feel like you've kind of stepped into a different energy. You're embodying a different personification, or hold on. They realize that there's so much more to you than what they ever saw you to be before, right? For some of you, you're not as crazy as they thought you were. You're actually 100% accurate. And they're kind of feeling like, wow, you know, this person has it together, even when they don't. Or you're that type of person in their life that's not afraid to get your hands dirty. You're not afraid to take the silk linen off and throw on some work boots. You're not afraid to put in the work and to put in the effort. You're not afraid to work for what it is that you want. You're not afraid to fight for the things that you know are right. And that actually has them wanting their commitment with you. And it's almost like some of them are intimidated. Some of them are just like, they're not even, I'm not on their level. I can't believe this person even wants to be with me. Like, why do they want to be with me? Yeah. So they're coming out of a cycle, cutting ties and releasing things, healing from past traumas, right? They're healing from um I'm seeing, yeah. So they're coming out of a hard time. And I don't feel like the feminine realized that the masculines were kind of drowning secretly in some energy or some situations, and they'll be different based on the placements and their choices, but I do feel and see um, there is going to be union. your masculine is trying to come forward and give you that union, but it did take you detaching yourself from them. And you don't have to physically have said, I'm done with you, I'm changing my number, we're not in any communication. For some of you, you did do that. And for others, you couldn't do that because you understood that your masculine still needed you. Um, but they are coming out of a cycle, they're coming out of what it has been, and they're coming forward in a new type of energy and a new sensation, right? It's like they're not going to be trying to control you. They're not going to try to control the outcome. They're not going to try to hold on to both you and the other situations that they're walking away from. They're kind of going into this humbled. They're going into this understanding that they don't deserve you on any level based on their actions, but they understand that they do deserve you because you're meant for them. It's really it's like, I know I don't deserve this relationship. I don't deserve this second chance, but it's mine. And I don't have to try to hold on to it. I don't have to try to suffocate it because it's already mine. And they're realizing that, okay? Like I had to some of your masculines had to dish out lots of money um, to entertain the other people in their lives, right? It was expensive to maintain appearances with this other party. And they're realizing with you, I don't have to do that. I can just be myself. I don't have to work so hard in this union. I don't have to force things to be the way that I want them to be because it's already there. It's already done. It's already in place. And some of you, your union is here. You know, it's like you don't have to, you know how they say you can reach out, but you still can't grab it yet? It's like if you actually extend your hand, you can feel it. It's here. There is the new beginning. There's no more charging forward. There's no more moving in a different direction. Your union is now. Probably by the end of Scorpio season, or Sag season, you know, I'm pretty confident before December you're going to be in your union. You are probably like around November the 3rd for some. Yeah, that's what I have for the collective. If it resonates, great. If not, then check another reader.